Call me spoken, you can keep the E. Call me spoken, you can keep the E.
God goes it.
What's good? What's good?
We're back. Sorry about that. Anybody who might have been here before. Welcome to the Collective Culture once again. We finally here again on Twitch. We have been talking about it. For those of you in the world of Twitch who don't know what the Collective Culture is, for one, let's introduce your host. Me, I'm Zoe. Also, if you follow me on Twitch, it's ShadowZo84. And we got
your boy Spoken. You already know what's going on.
Yeah.
Spoken _RR_ENT on Instagram and Facebook. You know what's happening. Resurrection Entertainment. You know.
Yeah. MDC Media. Shout them out too.
Squad. You know we got the whole team. Shout out to our other two hosts who pop in. You know normally through the podcast. Poet Pariah and Axiom Truth Be Told.
Axiom Truth Be Told.
You'll get the spend some time with them as well. You know.
The channel that we are on right now, you've got Spoken. This is the Real Spoken. That's the name of the channel handle. Now you got our artist, engineer, producer, promoter, COO, co-host right here.
Like, we ain't figured it out. We get it figured out.
Right, you know
what's going on.
Right. So but he's gonna have some more stuff for y'all later. Probably in the music creation. I think that's the name of the category, music creation, or maybe here in Just Chatting.
Taking you through a couple of steps on, how to get single distributed, the proper steps to go on about it,
From
just a little insight, from an independent artist aspect doing the whole shebang.
Yeah, I think he taking you from dirt to gold. So from down at the bottom to all the way to the top.
A little something like, what I'm saying, anything I can do to help the underground,
Right. But we got a couple of points that we're going to get into. Oh, but the Collective Culture is pretty much we come together to talk about what's going on in the culture, hip hop culture, music culture as a whole. In all honesty,
black culture
and black culture for the most part. Yeah,
we talk about it all.
But we're gonna get so we try to get down into it, cut through all the bullshit, and boom. And by the way, this is a mature channel, by the by, so there will be some swearing.
All right.
Put the kids to bed. We talking about real shit in here.
Nothing with a little adult conversation.
Right. But but we gonna jump into it, into our first point here in just 1 second. Y'all enjoy the music for a minute.
call me spoken, you can keep the E.
All right, y'all. Sorry about the brief break. Here we are. We're gonna jump into some points, or whatnot. Some recent news that has occurred. A lot of stuff going on out there. I think the first thing we want to talk about,
The elephant in the room.
the elephant in the room, is Kanye is going for president now.
Head ass niggas. I mean, you know, my guy, Kanye, run for president 2020. I mean, hell, y'all done let Donald Trump in though. Ain't hurt nothing.
So you can't do no worse, I guess. You know what I mean? But I mean, you know. So, what do we think, right, about Ye for president? Could your president be Ye?
No.
I mean, could you think of that President Ye? Like, you know
no.
what I'm saying, bro? President Jesus. Bro.
Me personally, I couldn't see it.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I don't. You know, this might as well be the a publicity stunt, just like when Trump first tried to go in office. He basically put out there, it was publicity stunt. I wasn't expecting to win. I mean, on one hand, okay, yeah, I see why he wants to run for president. Okay, but on the other hand, it's like, come on, bro. You chumped off Taylor Swift. You done already lost most of the white votes. You know what I'm saying, bro? Come on, man. Like, it's just not. It ain't cutting it. So Ye for president, man.
It's a no go for me, boss.
I'm gonna go with the no on that. That's a no. Also, in recent news this week, I know that last podcast, which probably the audio may not be out just yet, but it should be out soon. But last podcast, we spoke about how Nicki clapped back about at the fans about some of the flack she was receiving from doing the Trolls track. Working with
Real ad.
he who shall not be named.
Oh boy.
Oh boy is what we call them.
That's what we call them.
But then come to find out, Trolls had the biggest RIA drop. RIA is the billboards, basically. That's the company that runs and operates the billboards. But they had the biggest drop in history from number 1 down to 34, which is a literal slap in the face from fans all over the world. This is like, in music, that's like putting your nut sacks on somebody's head. That's like teabagging a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's like, you were at number 1. For curiosity at that. You weren't at number 1 because the track was good. You were at number 1 due to curiosity, because people were curious. And then as soon as you say something back to the people, when the people question you on it, this is a prime example. All of you would-be artists out there, this is a prime example of why it's so important to really take care of how you deal with your fans. Unless you got that cult following where you can literally slap your fans with your dick and they are cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unless you got that kind of cult following, this is a great example of why you got to be really careful of how you approach your fan base and how you deal with them when it's flat coming your way from your fan base. At that, I mean, this wasn't random people. Of course, some of it was random people, but
It's also choosing your company.
Yeah, choosing your company.
Like, I mean, if you're gonna choose a clown who was a clown chosen in another situation, evidently, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the evidence is there. Like, you got to understand there's gonna always be slack with that. You just so happen to catch it. Oh well, shawty. How you know? You know what I'm saying? It's just being for real.
That's right. My bad, y'all. I'm fucking up the white balance. But yeah. So if, like I stated, just in all, if you are going to dog your audience, at least make sure your track can back it up. Okay, because the problem here wasn't so much that Nicki clapped back at her fans. This was the result from Nicki clapping back at her fans. But the bigger problem is that the track was trash. Okay, and the main thing that made the track trash is because of who the track was done with. He don't get respect out here. You know what I'm saying? There's no more respect to him now. If he's still out here making music, then hey, so be it. Whatever.
There's always a couple of goofies out there.
It's always a couple of goofballs who gonna ride with clowns. You know what I'm saying? But nobody else is really digging that, man. Come on, you a whole right out here in the streets. All right, Cam Newton. All the sports heads probably already know.
Patriots.
But Cam Newton signed to the Patriots, so I don't know if that's gonna be the Black Tom Brady, but we'll see how that works out.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Belichick just got him a slave.
Yeah, Belichick.
Right in front
Wow.
of everybody.
Wow. Hey.
Like they ain't paying that man that much. He was like, all his endorsements and other things is gonna come in.
Yeah.
They give him the veteran minimum.
Ooh, yeah, they are. They are. When you think about that, though.
That's some trash.
They
right
giving it.
there.
Yeah, he got a bullshit contract.
This man had one of the best seasons as a quarterback, and you know it, and you don't want to, you don't want to tear the man off properly.
Yeah.
Go fast out of here.
Yeah, man.
See, Atlanta, y'all be tripping. Tighten up, Atlanta.
Yeah, man.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna get into that.
We'll leave that for another
We
conversation.
will leave that for another segment because
Yeah.
bullshit.
Later on in the segment, though, we're going to have classic hip-hops. We're going to start our classic hip-hop series. It won't be every podcast, but some podcasts we're going to talk about classic hip-hop music. You know what I mean? Or what is considered to be classic hip-hop music. And, of course, a lot of it actually is going to be subjective to each individual and each era. If we really being honest, because it's different eras of hip hop, and
that's what it is with music. Music is so subjective. I mean, everybody's gonna have an opinion, and preferences. It's free, so what I'm saying. You have the right to choose what to like or whatever you want to like. Some things are in place that do show other facts. Let's be honest, numbers are numbers. I mean, that means a majority of people aren't listening to you. So, I mean, it all bundles together. So,
yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got to talk about?
The young lady at Fort Worth. A lot of, I don't know how many people are following the story, but for all our soldiers out there, and
salute to all our soldiers.
Yeah, and for the families out there who have soldiers out here, we want you to let you know that we with you. They just shut down Fort Worth and figure out what's going on. Okay, because for those who don't know, her name is Vanessa Guillen or whatnot, was found, Guillen, yeah, that's her name, was found, murdered and dismembered on post, along with other bodies. It wasn't just her, but it's other bodies that was, that have been found, scattered around Fort Worth, apparently. That's nuts. You think, you go into the military, or your son or daughter goes in the military, you think, oh, they'll be fine, they'll be safe. They're going to take care of them over there. Country going to take care of them and make sure nothing else, that they're going to be safe in a safe environment as long as they're not at war. They're going to eat, sleep, have a great time when they're not getting smoked, basically. But, but then it come to find out some trash, some bullshit like this happened. I mean, to get to the bottom of that. I don't know where that stands as of today. I just know as of yesterday, there's still investigating, but nothing has been done. Fort Worth in a lockdown, none of that. So outside of COVID-19, but with that being the case too, and that's still in the air. we don't talk a lot about COVID-19 because I figure by now you should know what you're supposed to do. Stay your ass in the house if you're not an essential worker.
Wash your hands.
Wash your damn hands.
Stop being nasty.
Stop being nasty. Stop picking your nose and shit, and then trying to shake people's hand. You know, that's just right. You know,
let's just be for real,
bro. I mean,
everybody was to act their age. We'd be a lot better off.
Right.
You can understand kids doing it because that's just what they're gonna do. But you grown folks, y'all not, man, whatever. Okay.
And that leads me to another question for our Georgia residents. They have they put together, just for the parents out there. They're putting together these precautions for school year, next school year, opening up schools. Right, as we know, that's a month away. Well, a month and a half, roughly. A month and a half away. Y'all, if you're watching the VOD later on, or if you are in chat right now or viewing right now, what do you think? Do you think that we should be ready to reopen schools in the next month and we don't even know where we're going with COVID-19 at the time? So, you know, and with these precautions, what are they going to do? Are they going to have the kids wearing masks? They've released some of the details, but nothing that's concrete as far as I'm concerned. Basically, the details that we get are from the Muskogee County School District when they call your phone. Okay, and that's the people in Columbus, Georgia. I don't know about the rest of the state, but here in Columbus, they call your phone and they tell you that new things have been released when you come for registration, that they'll give you more full-on details, and then they spout out a few things. Okay, but for kindergartners and first and second and third graders, they're not going to wear a mask all day. They're just not. There's no way, especially kindergartners and pre-K. There is no way you are going to tell me that your kindergartner is going to wear their mask all day long. Especially when the teacher says the first time, "I'm sorry, honey, I couldn't hear you." First thing that child is gonna do, "Oh, well, I got this shit on my face." Like, you know what I mean? That's the first thing they're gonna do. They're not gonna think about speaking up louder until after they remove the obstruction from their mouth. You know what I mean? I'm really. I mean, I guess this is kind of a personal thing for me too, because, you know, I got kids, but I'm really wondering, like, you know, where's the option to do homeschooling, which I'm pretty sure it's out there. But I mean, that's the route I'm going. But I'm wondering from other people. Like I said, if you're watching the VOD later, this will go up on YouTube or whatnot, and we will when we put this out, we'll probably throw it out on that information on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram to let y'all know where to find this episode for the podcast on YouTube or whatnot. And you can go watch this and throw it in the comments. What do you think?
Talk with us. Let us know something. Give us some feedback.
Go in the comments. Put a thumbs up if you liked it, and the thumbs down if you disliked it. Hey, if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's all good.
Talk with us. You know, it may give us some ideas. Talk about some stuff. You know, we can open up some conversation.
Right. You know, we're down to have conversations. You know, we accept all the feedback. You know, people gonna be trolls, and we get that too. So, you know, we ain't afraid of y'all. Okay, so come with it. You know, you might get some slap back in the comments, to be perfectly honest with you. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, it's something that, you know, I want to know where, you know, other parents stand. You know, I'm personally interested in homeschooling my kids. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how a system who can barely, or let me rephrase that, who's not even allowed to control children now, you know, before COVID-19, is expecting to control children during the pandemic. You know what I mean? I mean, you got to imagine, folks, like, two kids get into a fight nowadays, teachers can't even touch them. They can't even break them up. If they break them up, it's too many possibilities of a lawsuit. Because we all became punk-ass parents, you know, throughout the years or whatnot. You know, we don't want nobody to touch our babies, and quote unquote, you know, and so on and so forth. So, you know, right? You know what I mean? So, like, you know, it's in that to me is an issue. But anyway, starting off our classic hip hop series, we're going with classic albums right now.
Hold on.
Okay.
Also, let's just make this understood. You know, I understand he clapped back, but August Alsina. You a whole sucker out here, bro. I mean,
August Alsina.
What is your issue, like, putting them folk business out there like that, man? You know, like,
my thing is, Here's
You
my
a whole
thing.
snitch out here, bro. You the side piece to Jada.
That's what I'm finna say. That's why I'm out here like, you hitting Jada with the man's blessing, and you got the nerve to put it on Front Street. You wasn't hitting no Jada's before. You know what I'm saying?
It's like all the things you choose to do, the shit we got going on right now, dude. And this is what your focus is trying to put the Smiths on front, nigga. Sit your goofy, slightly remedial behind down somewhere, boy.
I tell you what, man.
The whole sucker out here, man.
But he was in the class where they had to hold hands and go down the hallway. You know what I mean? Because ain't no way in the world that, if you say, "Hey, I give you my blessing. I want you to bang my wife." She's Jada Pinkett, by the way. Oh, okay, really? All right. Well, it's like, what you do yesterday? Nothing at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna know, bro. Ain't nobody gonna know. I ain't talking to nobody about
family trips
right,
and everything.
right. You know what I'm saying? You go to Milan and fucking, Bora Bora and so on and so forth, bro. On the free because you just going with them. Man, please.
Suck up.
A sack, man. Oh, I tell you what, August asked Lena.
I had to say that because I don't know no man in America that would have minded being Jada's side.
Man, bro, what? And then you ain't have to hide or run.
You had Will Smith, you had Will Blessed, nigga.
Bro,
Slow.
you didn't even have to hide. You know what I'm saying? You was point blank, like you was ready.
You don't understand, like when you in a position like, come on, like Stedman don't say nothing.
Stedman, shut up and let Oprah do whatever Oprah will. Whatever she will.
She want I be the side nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So come on.
Stedman, I'm going to Africa for 2 weeks. All right, honey, you be good, okay? You be safe out there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You be safe out there. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
So, but yeah, I just wanted to also throw that little piece out there because
you know what? And I'm gonna go ahead and get it out the way before we go into the first part of the series with classic hip hop albums. Tomorrow, not tomorrow. It's Tuesday. I'm sorry, Tuesday, June 7th. Blackout Tuesday, or whatnot. So go ahead, get your shopping out the way. It might be too late tonight, but tomorrow on your lunch break, or if y'all black folks like black folks I know. If y'all black folks is like black folks I know, y'all off tomorrow anyway. Y'all knew y'all was gonna be sick tomorrow, or y'all use that vacation time, right in the right time. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So like, if y'all black folks like black folks I know, go ahead and get your shopping out the way. Hit up the pig wherever you gotta go to get the baby's milk and all of that great stuff and knock it all out, because Tuesday, unless you shopping black, we ain't shopping.
No shopping.
You know what I mean? So
it's black on.
Black on. So that's what's going on. That's not now. I want everybody to be understood in Twitch land. Okay, this is not a prejudice or racist thing, but the cause that's going on right now, we have to see it through. Okay, so we got to see this through until things change. You know what I mean? We got to go through. It's ridiculous.
For change, it's happening, and we must continue to proceed.
And we must continue to see it through. Until things are resolved and things have been changed, and changed for real this time. You know what I'm saying? For real this time. You know what I mean? We need policies.
It's all cool, y'all change Aunt Jemima and shit, but we need more than that.
Oh, they changed Uncle Ben. They took Aunt Jemima off the shelf altogether.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cool, it's cool and all. We appreciate that, but
Yeah, but I mean,
we need real change.
Right. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is honorable mention. That's great. But we need some policies that's different. You know what I'm saying? We need some new legislature altogether.
Rest in love, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. The list goes on. Sad to say. But, these are the reasons why we need to continue this movement. Your Tamir Rice, you know what I'm saying? Your Philando Castile, Eric Gardners, you know what I'm saying? Michael Brown, you know, the list just goes on. Sandra Bland, you know, we got to keep their names, you know, relevant because this is what the movement is for. Because we don't want it to be another unheard voice, and it needs to be some change. So
It needs to be some change.
you know, that's that Black Power spell right there for you, real quick. You know, we about to get into some conflicting conversation, though. You know,
Controversial conversation.
yeah.
And it's controversial against most hip hop heads, but but I think I don't know. I really think it's controversial in general because a lot of people, it's subjective, as stated, as earlier stated. You know, everybody got their own reason for, but we gonna take what 10? No, 5. We gonna take 5. Our top 5 classic hip hop albums that are considered
I
classic.
think we might need to stretch that to 10.
We might need to stretch it to 10, to be honest with you.
It's, you know, when you have the whole debates about greats and goats and classics, you know, it's such a wide range in that, you know,
Right.
that border, the cutoff line is like, you know, it's crowded, man, because it's a lot of people you can put in there. So, you know.
Well, see, and here's the thing too: subgenres. You know what I mean? So, like the true honesty about it, it's kind of hard to put, classic of all time when you got so many subgenres. You know, because in hip hop alone, I mean, you got your horrorcore, you got trap, you got the crunk era. Let's not forget about the crunk era. You got boom bap, you know, your conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? Gangster rap. You know, pop rap or whatever, however you call it, the popular music joints.
All kind of different
All
shit, you know
kind of stuff out there, man. Now, I mean, there's so many subgenres. You know, you got your rock hop, even. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, and you know, everybody there's for each subgenre, somebody was the greatest in that subgenre at some point. You know what I'm saying? And they had classic music and possibly a classic album in that subgenre. So, let's stretch it out to 10 for, I guess, our personal top 10, and then I guess we'll explain to the people why for each one. You know what I mean? We'll give you guys a good rundown of why we say.
Give us some feedback. You agree?
Yeah, give us
disagree,
feedback.
man. Let us know something.
Yeah.
Chop it up.
We're not afraid to debate with chat.
At
Come
all.
on, man. Like, we'll
up,
debate with chat with no problem at all, man. Y'all give us your best shot for sure.
Hip hop is life, so you know what I'm saying. It's a lifestyle, you know. We ready to chop it up.
So with that, starting out in no particular order either. But I'm gonna start with number 1 to say necessarily my number 1, but number 1 classic album in hip hop. I'm gonna start with, I guess, the pop subgenre, so to speak, only because I don't think they fit into conscious. Well, sometimes he can be conscious, but I don't really think his entire, mode fit that. But I'm gonna go with Illmatic. As number 1, y'all know I'm a Nas fan, so it had to come out. But Illmatic as one of the top classic albums, for hip hop.
I can run with that.
So I guess pop hip hop or whatnot, so Illmatic. Now the reason I say this is because I feel like at this,
Life's a bitch and then you die.
Yeah, right.
That's why we
You know,
polite, 'cause
yeah.
you never know when you're gonna go.
the Illmatic had it all. Everything that it had it all. I mean, you had your stories, you had, your lyrical content was there. The feeling of the music was there, especially for the time. You know what I'm saying? The wordplay was nasty. You know what I mean? This kid was nice, especially, that was like Nas in his prime. He was really, at the pinnacle of his career right there. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't really know about his mixtapes and lost tapes and shit before that. But that was kind of like the pinnacle of his the top of his career before the beef era. You know what I mean? So that was the top of his career at that point, and it was like you could listen to the album. Well, I had it on cassette. You know, some of y'all may not know what that means, but you can listen to side A and B, right?
Oh,
You can flip tape over and keep going. You have to fast forward past nothing or rewind through nothing. You know, but you can listen to A and B. For me anyway, Illmatic. You know, and it had it all. It was something that was cool to ride to. You know, it was even something with some of the music. You know, depending on your parenting back then, some of his tracks, you know, even your folks could get into and be like, oh, he got a message. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's for me. One of mine is Illmatic.
I'm just going to combat that because I mean it's in my top 10 as well. So you know I'm not going to knock that. I definitely rock with that boy on that Illmatic. You know that was a very well put together project. So just to kind of combat that, you know, I'm on the other side of the fence. You know, I'm a Hove type of guy. So you know, Reasonable Doubt is definitely in this conversation in these top 10 for me.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you know,
that's also my top 10 though.
you
know what I'm saying?
That is an amazing piece of work. You know, all together.
You know, the one thing I can say about, I'm a Nas fan, but I'm not the type of person that's just gonna dog the other side. You got to give them their credit because Illmatic didn't get a diamond plaque. You know what I'm saying? Illmatic didn't go diamond. You know what I'm saying? I think Illmatic later on went like triple platinum or something like that later down the line when people was trying to, people who not from the area or wasn't aware of Nas in their region, went to look him up later. Then later when I think like triple platinum or something like that, but. Reasonable Doubt, flopped. Well, they called it a flop. It didn't flop. Okay, Reasonable Doubt did not flop because Reasonable Doubt went gold. Okay, that's not a flop.
It's kind of a break even.
Right, you know what I'm saying? That's not a flop. I mean, you got to think. Gold now is what 75 million streams now. Back then it was like 500,000 or something like that. So 500,000, sales back then. But those are physical sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know how much harder it was to get physical sales.
Yeah, people had to actually go to the store
right.
to buy.
People had to actually know who you were and went to buy your music. You know what I'm saying? So it still went gold. So they say it flopped, but that's in later conversation when people talk about it was a flop. Honestly, it didn't flop. Gold was in the conversation every time. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of people going gold. Who was your favorite MC or favorite singer back then? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't really flop, but later on, it was slept on. However, later on,
Extremely slept on.
Yeah, later on though it
22 what? Come on.
Right, yeah, I know, right? But later on, it eventually rose to the occasion and went diamond. So that's one thing I can definitely say it's in my top 10. You know what I mean? Because it was definitely a well put together project too.
Yeah.
I'm also a whole fan, so I was conflicted during the beef, but it went the way it was, and it's all squashed and they all good now. So I'm no longer conflicted. I can like them both and be good. You know what I mean? Nobody talking shit about me. You know what I mean? It's shit. It was a villain back when we was in high school. How you gonna like Nas and Hov? That's like being a Crip in the blood at the same time. Like, no, it's not. It's different.
Perspective.
Right.
Perspective.
Right. No, but
I mean, I guess both of these albums could technically run in the majority of people's lists anyway. So
yeah, a lot of people I think are gonna have them in their list.
Not too many people are gonna have a quarrel about those two being in the top 10 list.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think when you get further into this discussion is where the issues come into play.
Now I got another one. Like I said, it's no particular order, but I got one that might not everybody be interested in or whatnot, or may not have been feeling. And I want to make sure I'm calling the album right. I'm pretty sure the name of the album is Black Butterfly by the Roots, or is that Black Thought Solo Joy? Let me make sure I got that right, y'all. That might have just been a song too.
But while he's looking that up,
I just want to be right.
you know, it's, like we said, it's different realms to this as well. Because you got to understand, we're not exactly going based off certain genres or anything like that. Because there are certain sounds that you accessorize with what you're wanting to listen to. So, you know, if I'm in the mood for some trap, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shit, I'm gonna be wanting to hear some, you know, if I'm wanting to hear some classic trap, I might be grabbing some old Jeezy, some old Gucci, some old Tip, you know what I'm saying? Thug Motivation 101, you know what I'm saying? What was it?
Motivation 101. You got
Not trap music.
trap music by Tip.
I'm serious, you know. Gucci Man movie, you know, all these different joints, you know what I'm saying? That you can go to, they'll bring that actual feeling, you know, of that greatest of that sound. Whereas, you know, you might have I think we was talking about it the other day, to where I was like, how can you compare someone like a Jeezy's realest nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus Common, the light, you know what I'm saying? Like, those present two different, you know, feelings, you know, that's just some real shit. You know, when you hear, you know, the light, you know, I never knew what love, you know what I'm saying? He just, you know, and it's that pure, you know, emotion and that knowledge that's given out through his music. It breeds a whole different type of thing, you know. So when I be listening to certain stuff, like, you know, it depends on what mood I'm in, because there might be a mood I'm in where you know, I might just have that Jeezy feel. You know what I'm saying? I might be in that mood where I want to hear some new stuff. I might pop some Roddy Ricch in, you know. Shout out to Pop Smoke, you know, rest in peace to the God, you know what I'm saying? But definitely a dope project that just dropped, you know. My boy had a sound, you know, and I was rocking with it, you know what I'm saying? You know, y'all can say, you know, there's a difference in, you know, age and eras and whatever, but if you genuinely just like music, it doesn't matter what era it is, you'll still find something that you can jig with, you can vibe with. So, you know, big shout out to Pop Smoke, you know, may his soul rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? Still need to find the people that did that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the prayers go out for the family. You know, definitely a big, you know, release.
That, but that what I was talking about, that wasn't the name of it. It was called something else, but they was talking about it. But it's actually a Mos Def track. So I thought it was a Black Thought, not track, but it was on the Mos Def album, which is featuring Black Thought. But it was called, damn, what was it called? I just had this thing up here. Hurricane, I think. Yeah, Hurricane. Huh?
What all that sex, drugs, and money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, off of that Sex, Drugs, and Money. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, but it was Mos Def, who's also, you know, and I guess that is the album that I would be thinking about. It's Mos Def joint. That's in my classic, you know. But like you said, that's that subgenre. You know what I mean? That's that subgenre.
I guess my one of mine wouldn't be too far from that, because it of course would be that Black Star joint. You know what I'm saying?
Black Star, yeah.
Black Star, that album, that was a whole,
That album was dope.
whole
Yeah.
vibe. You know what I'm saying? Khaled Kweli, Mos Def. You know.
Yep.
You get a message in your music, so you know what I'm saying. It brings something extra to the table for me. You know, as a hip hop head, I love to hear a message and how it's articulated and the point is proven and brought across to someone. And you know, when you got those two, I mean, you know,
That's content.
what more can I say?
Right, you
know,
got the
that
content.
and that is definitely talent and skill. You know,
Right.
those are two of the best conscious rappers I've heard in my years of listening to, you know, hip hop. So that would be, you know, in my place around that number right there. So we done put out 7 out there that we both know top 10.
Have we put out 7 already?
No, we put out 3.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah. I mean like 3 apiece.
Oh, we
right?
have
So,
7 left.
Yeah. So like we got 3 apiece out there that you know. So another classic hip hop album, and I think you already mentioned it actually for the trap era. You know what I mean, or not the trap era, but I guess the trap subgenre, because this is still in the same era that we're talking about, but it's just a different subgenre of what you like. You know, because but Thug Motivation 101. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that. But as far as trap music go, probably one of the few albums that you can listen to from cover to cover. You know what I'm saying? Or from, you know, now that was a solo disc. That wasn't a double disc. That was a single disc. But you can listen to from, you know, beginning to end. You ain't gotta skip nothing.
Whole thing.
You ain't gotta skip nothing. Even the skits went in the dope songs. So you know what I mean, so you know the skit too. You know what I mean? So
I remember
like, you know,
them screeds when they
What?
when I say that shit, I'm the realest nigga in here.
You already know. Got Trapper of the Year 4 times in a row. What the gig?
Come on, man.
Bro.
Like, yeah, that was a whole.
Hey,
it was
man.
a whole movement because you could literally go in the club at any given time and any track off of that album might be getting played.
Man,
Any given time,
bro,
any track.
you could go in the club and hear I went from old school Chevys to drop top Porsches. You couldn't walk a mile off in my Air Forces. Oh, bro. APSTR.
Like we said, though, you know what I'm
And the
saying?
classic song on that joint. Oh, damn. Oh, man. Yeah, I just had it on the tip of my tongue and I lost it that quick.
Oh, Jeezy.
Nah, not the Jeezy like the smoke. Oh, damn, bro.
You got me thinking.
Yeah, I'm I gotta go.
You got me thinking now.
Hold on. The joint with Bun B. God damn, it's
That's
like
that's that I went from old school Chevy to drop top Porsche. You can walk
miles off in my Air Forces.
been around the block before, sold it off.
Oh yeah. I went from old school shit.
Time I got to go.
Yeah, you see what I see.
Yeah, okay.
100,000 Nissan John G. Everybody already know Jesus real.
Man,
Tell
like
see
my
me
shit.
I'm a real.
Bottom of the mouth.
Yeah,
Bang with my shit.
Jesus from the bottom
No,
of
when
the
niggas
mouth.
was with all that street shit, they get out there. Bang, motherfucker.
Bang.
Go get hood, man.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And you know, for that era, like, you know, that was definitely, I mean, you got some others in that era, like we said, Gucci is definitely an honorable mention too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? They was, come on.
No,
Tip the one got us putting rubber bands around money.
Yeah, right, bro. Yeah. Rubber Band Man, boy. But I remember though now, man. Damn, I remember it. I forgot it again just that quick. Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me Babs Do Ali, blow on these beats. Got diarrhea flow, cause I shit on niggas. Even when I'm constipated, I still shit on niggas. Man, what? Anytime you heard that in the club, boy, you know it was gonna be
You
a
gotta
fun
think
night.
that era though. You know that era was so fun when you was out in the streets, out in the club. Come on, him, Gucci, Pastor
Gore.
Troy, man.
Even Pastor Troy.
Vice versa. Come on.
Now,
man.
from y'all folks who ain't from around the area, you know what I'm saying? Y'all may not be real privy to Pastor Troy. I know some of y'all might know some of his super mainstream stuff. The hell? Some of y'all might know some of his super mainstream stuff, like the Just the Fight and, you know, that bullshit. But we talking about Pastor Troy before Universal, Face Off. That album he put out, the album that got him signed to Universal actually, was that Face Off with that, you know, the city on it, from the city and that vice versa. You know.
Man, let me tell you something. When the Vice versa came on, man, that shit. DJ could cut the beat. He could just play the beat for a second and cut it off. Niggas know
Everybody
word
knows
to the
every
song.
word to the song. and it guaranteed
A
two
fucking
things.
Sing along.
Right, it guaranteed you had to sing along, and then it was guaranteed somebody was gonna pop somebody. It was gonna be a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Now you know I can't be.
Right.
You knew what it was when you put that song on.
Yeah.
You knew somebody was gonna get
Right,
hit.
you gonna get mad because niggas start fighting after you put the song on. You already, you know what this song do to individuals, right?
This is like the black folks version of starting a mosh pit type song.
Right, man. Like,
That's all it takes to hear that is some shit like some. You remember Baby D?
Baby D, yeah, we ready?
No.
No, not that one.
That East
Side ho, yeah. West Side ho. ATL ho, yeah. Oh man, some of y'all don't know this music because it was really deep rooted in the crunk and the crunk era, the trap era, or whatever, and like especially down here
when the South was really
the South was took over, man. Those was years that the South just completely took over. You know what I mean?
So you had to think for an era like that, for Jeezy to be the person to come out and stand out in the crowd with that album.
Him and T.I. Well, T.I. had already made his place with trap music, but
I'm serious.
Well, but see, I'm serious. A lot of people didn't know about I'm serious until later, until after trap music. I remember I was in Detroit, and everybody thought trap music was his first album.
Yeah.
I was in Detroit. I was living in Detroit, and people was like, "Oh yeah, you heard that new Cat T.I.?" I was like, "He ain't new." Like, what you mean? His album just came out like 3 weeks ago. I said, that's his second album.
It's like, y'all don't even know. Y'all ain't even catch with the Grand Hustle PSC click,
right.
Dope boy Fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Dope boy
Fresh. Yeah.
Hey.
That back when when Catch was A-Town stumping before.
Yes, yeah. Gucci and Louis shot at
ain't nothing less.
Like he's a piece on my side and some beat. Oh yeah, that classic tilt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's T.I.P. Before it was T.I. You know what I'm saying? That was that tilt.
Yeah.
Like that Dope Boys in the Trap. Shit. One of my favorite joints. Still ain't forgave myself. I need to look these up.
Ooh.
Still ain't forgave myself, bro.
Still ain't forgave myself.
Boy, what, man, that shit spoke so much truth. That had so much truth in it. That hit you somewhere when you listen to that joint. If y'all ain't never heard T.I. I'm Serious, go look it up. If you ain't never heard the album I'm Serious, you need to go look it up.
I mean, come on, Mr. Pussy Papa number
Well,
one.
yeah. What's your name? Pussy Papa number one, yeah. Man, I can't be your man. Shoot, boy. Right. Oh man, it had a little something for everybody on. But then, said while we talking the crunk era, shit, you can't forget, not Crunk Juice, but Kings of Crunk.
Yeah, Lil Jon and
Yeah, Kings of Crunk, man. That was specifically that specific album, Kings of Crunk, that had
every fucking thing.
It had every damn thing on it for real. Like, it had everything. Bro, when we say everything, it even had shit for the females on there.
Yeah, Yin Yang on
Yin
there.
Yang was on there. Everything was on there. Pastor
Scrappy.
Luda, Scrappy. T.I. Man. Jada Kiss. Jada was in on the joint. And Styles. Like.
It's like, what? You guys kissing the ghost on the Lil Jon track,
right?
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, come on, man. Like, you gotta think. It was certain stuff. I remember being in had just got out of basic training at tech school, and I was sitting. We in the day room or whatever, in the little common area, and whatnot, and come downstairs after the day call, like 106 and Park or some shit was on.
Right.
And it was a new video.
Ooh.
And I'm sitting here and it's talking about a crime mob. And I'm looking at the video and I'm like, man, they on the way to the city.
Right. They on the way to us.
I'm like, hold up.
Right. Milk if you buck.
One of the hottest songs of that time.
Yeah.
And it was like, folks was from Georgia. We on the belt. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy though. So,
bro,
you know, that was just wild, and you know that era, it was so strong. Like it was just an abundance of well put together music.
right, yeah,
You know, for that subgenre, which is why you can't compare it to other subgenres.
genres, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's some differences. So you know what I'm saying? I definitely think that Thug Motivation 101 is definitely on there.
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of I'm gonna take it a different way this go round. I'm gonna go with hope nobody say nothing about it, but if they do, fuck them.
Right.
I'm pretty sure not though. Good Kid, Mad City. Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar? Who gonna say something bad about that?
Well, you know, when you talk about all time, you know, it's a lot of folks. It's like, you know, he ain't put enough time.
I mean, well, maybe okay. So I mean, I get that, but we talking about classic albums,
That's
right?
a classic.
Yeah, we talking about classic. We talking about albums that's gonna survive time. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about classic, we talking about music that's gonna survive time. Okay, that's just like All Eyes on Me. Okay, a lot of people gonna put All Eyes on Me in theirs. Okay, personally ain't in mine, but
Not in mine either.
but a lot of people are going to put All Eyes on Me in that category of classic album because it can survive, you know, the time as long as you dig Pac like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't knock Pac. Yeah, Pac was a revolutionary. He did what he did. He knew how to make his music pop, but he was not that big of a lyricist as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't very lyrical, but what he did say, he knew how to get it out there and make the people feel it. And you can't knock it. You can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? That's artistry.
The passion.
You know what I'm saying? That's artistry, and that's a passion for what he wrote about. You know what I'm saying? Or for the things that he put out there. You know, but like I said, you know, a lot of people gonna put All Eyes on Me definitely in they top. You know. And you know, like I said, like, you can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's subjective. You know, just like Good Kid, Mad City. You know, it's subjective. But however, I don't disagree. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was an amazing project.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar by far, you know, he probably, you know, of course, him and J. Cole are the upper echelon of, you know, lyrical ability for this era.
For this era, yeah.
So, and you know, and I'm not knocking it because I love both of them. You know, I think their music is a great inspiration. They really give us what we need to be hearing as black people. You know what I'm saying? So,
especially right now, their music really hit right now. If
it's-
you go back and listen to KOD or
you can listen to Be Alright right now.
You could-
and
yeah, Be Alright,
understand,
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
we gonna fight through this, but we gonna be alright. You know.
right,
So it's always, you know, good behind it. So that's why I picked Good Kid, Mad City to be in mine.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's about to start getting a little bit more interesting. You want to send it on a break or you want to keep running?
I mean, you know,
We can put it on a break.
okay. So we gonna break for a minute, and we gonna come back and finish this up. We gonna go ahead and give it a quick break, and y'all enjoy the music for a moment here.
Yeah, we'll be right back with you.
We're gonna be right back, and give y'all a little bit of tunes to go with that.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to mix you.
Call me smoking, you can keep the E. Call me smoking, you can keep the E.
Back at it.
For a short interlude, you know. But okay, so we both went through 6 apiece.
Yeah.
So let's go on ahead and get into this meat. These last 5.
Oh yeah.
Well, we went through 4 apiece. We have 6 apiece left.
Oh, is that how it worked out? Yeah. Okay. So we went through. We had 4 piece. Yeah, we got 6 of them left now.
We got 6 of them left. So let's get into that.
All right. So, let's see.
Give me something
Remember
good.
what I had already here.
Give me something good.
So, yeah.
Something good, because I got some bangers coming up next. I got some real bangers coming up next.
All right. So, classic album for me. Going back to, I guess, a little bit more poppy. to say the Hard Knock Life Volume 2. You know, well, the Life and Time of Sean Carter Volume 2, Hard Knock Life is the name of the album. You know what I mean? But so yeah, so I got to go with that one. And I think that that's common though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I don't think too many people gonna fight on that. But you know,
Knock it. I would have put another whole classic in before that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, no specific order, but you know, I just, you know.
I mean, that was definitely a big hit. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, man, that Annie sample was dope.
What?
Hey, that shit still slaps to this.
Hey, but he
day.
got some dope samples and like it's some dope samples in a lot of his joints though, man.
Man, what that song you'll understand that shit.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Bro.
still one of my favorite beats
Bro.
to this day.
I don't think people would count that as a classic though, but I think that's a classic album too.
Man, that shit was hard.
The Rock La Familia, man.
The
I know I'm jumping ahead of
Dynasty.
myself. I'm just saying, I think
Yeah,
that's a
I mean-
classic too though. You know,
I guess Volume 2, yeah, that's definitely a
but Volume
banger.
2, you know, for in number 5, Volume 2. So yeah.
So,
I mean, ain't a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's a lot of people. I know that it's not a lot of people gonna fight on that. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people gonna be like, yeah, you know, even if you don't even like Jay, you gotta give a man his respect for Volume 2. You know what I'm saying?
it was definitely
The originator,
a joint.
Jigga What, Jigga Who, which is the originator, but you know.
That's your bitch. Okay,
Right.
so let's see. I guess I thought, I'm gonna shake things up. I'm gonna go on the opposite of Jay-Z at the time, and I'm gonna hit up my boy X, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
X, you know, definitely, you know, one of the greats of that era. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to think about it. Like, you know, he really gave, you know, some of that spark back to the industry after Tupac's passing away.
Yeah. That's true.
So, you know, that aggression and that energy was definitely, you know, a key thing in his success for it. But, you know,
I mean, he filled that role so well that a lot of people was talking, you know, being, you know, a lot of people was being funny, but it's like, oh, you know, that's the East Coast Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, he was coined as the East Coast Tupac for a good long time. You know what I mean? I guess until he cleared the air and said that he wasn't trying to be Tupac. You know what I mean? Like
you
yeah.
gotta think, like, I mean, in this situation, I feel like with any of his first 4 albums, they can be interchanged. So, you know,
yeah,
it's Dark and Hell is High could be in there. Grand Champ, the Great Depression.
the Great Depression.
Great Depression, yeah, that could be in there, you know. So, I mean, any of them, I believe, you know, is a good fit in that position because, I mean, how DMX does his music is unique, and, you know, it was something that we, you know, we need to appreciate while we had it because, I mean, you know, a lot of people, you know, slide it to the side, and it's like, you know, the man don't get his roses, and, you know, that was great music for back then.
Yeah.
You gotta think, you can go through an album and you can pick a song and it's just like it just had the game messed up at any given time.
Yeah. for the
And
most
it's
part.
Dark and Hell is Hot had so much shit messed up when he came out and he gave you all that shit. He had did his feature with LL Cool J and them.
Yep.
You know, boom, he dropped his joint and you know he got the Rough Rider anthem and all kind of shit just going on. How's it going down? You know, that shit was hard.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why I put that up in there. So, that's definitely in, you know, my realm. And like we said, you know, this is really subjective. So, you know, you can understand that there may be errors that aren't getting included in this, but, you know, it's just subjective from our point of view, like what we feel, you know. So, we understand that it's going to change. And if it, you know, it's different for y'all, you know, let us know in the comments, you know. Like we said, talk to us.
I know people about to get at me for this one. I know people about to get at me for this one. I know it for sure. But fuck that. Come home with me. Cameron, man, come home with me. Listen. Okay, I'm not even a Cameron fan. I don't even like him like that. Okay, but Come Home With Me. It had so many hot joints on it. It had so many hot joints on it. Now look, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know y'all finna get at me, okay? But if you go back and listen to Come Home With Me, you know what I mean? It was funny, okay? And it had some dope joints, you know? It was what, 15 tracks long? I want to say 15, 15 tracks long?
I believe so.
It was 13 of the tracks on there that was dope. Now, I know the other, I mean, not 13, but it was 10 of the tracks there that was dope. Now, the other 5 was probably skits and, you know, pieces of tracks, but, you know, like, I think it was about 10 tracks on there that was pretty dope. So, I mean, you got Hey Ma, you know, this is the same shit that had Hey Ma on it. It had Oh Boy on it. It had Dipset Anthem on it. Wait, was it the Dipset Anthem or the other Dipset joint? Hey, here's what it is. I'ma put Come Home With Me on it.
Please, y'all definitely let us know how y'all feel about these choices.
Hey, Come Home With Me going on there.
But, you know, it's a cool thought. I mean, it did have some bangers on it, so you know, salute to him anyway for what he did. I'd be coming in a little stronger than that. So, you know,
Okay.
I'm gonna throw this Carter 3 out there.
Carter 3, yeah.
Carter
Okay,
3.
I get it.
I think that's
I'm with
pretty
that.
much debatable. I think that's definitely a must-have slap in your top 10.
Wait, Carter 3? Is that what I'm thinking?
Millie.
A Millie, yeah. With a Millie on it, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess we can throw the Carter 3 out there. I think Carter 3 would be pretty good. Is a pretty good stand-in. You know,
Lollipop.
Lollipop, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it had some bangers on there. You know. I mean, I like Wayne
Mr.
anyway.
Officer.
But, you know. Well, Mr. Officer, I don't, you know. I mean, yeah, it's, you know, I know it was dope for what it was, but I mean, Mrs. Officer is like not one of his best songs in my you know, in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, but it was a hit, you know. Bobby Valentino was, I guess, doing his thing for that, you know, for his 15 minutes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, so that worked out, you know.
You get a full half.
Right.
You got like the first quarter in like 10 minutes.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Bro, so like,
But,
you know.
yeah, I mean, it's just really it's a slap for me, so, you know. Okay, so, well, that's 5 out the way right there.
All right,
Peace.
I got something I know you're gonna agree with. Well, I think you're gonna agree with it. You might not. You might find something else better. But I'm gonna go with "Kiss the Game Goodbye."
Oof.
I'm gonna put "Kiss the Game Goodbye" in there too.
Yeah, that was
"Kiss the Game Goodbye" was so fucking dope. "Kiss the Game Goodbye" was a killer.
that was definitely a banger right there.
Yeah.
Jada. Woo, top 5 dead or alive.
That's
And
an album.
just one off of one LP.
Yeah.
And that's just off of one LP.
That's one LP.
Come on,
yeah,
man.
right.
Stop playing.
So, you know what I mean. So yeah. So I go. So I'm putting "Kiss the Game Goodbye" in there.
For the
frail shit.
Cause when my coat come in, they gotta use the scale that they weigh the
whales with.
Come
Yeah.
on. That boy was nasty with it. Hey, that's a definite salute and slap right there.
She said she was a model for a year and a half, and if she took the pins out, then her hair fall down to the calf. I knew a man, he was just up north. He would have got left up north, but he was the chef up north. What?
Yeah, that man Kiss. Legendary lines, man.
Right, man. You know.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm gonna have some fun now. Cause let's see. Where will we go with this one? I would probably have to go. I'm trying to think in this situation. Okay, I'm since we're not doing no particular order, I'm just gonna throw this one in there because I mean it was a dope ass project. Marshall Mathers LP.
You know, out of all of his music, I would, if I had to pick one, that would be it too. Marshall Mathers LP. Some people would say Curtain Call. I heard somebody, I was having this conversation with somebody like, his dopest music, and somebody said Curtain Call. I just couldn't dig it. I mean, I'm sorry.
Was not it.
Nah, yeah, I just couldn't dig Curtain Call, man. I mean, like, I mean, if y'all out there,
everything that he has, this was what I listened.
yeah, the Marshall Mathers LP was probably the dopest project he put out.
It was dope as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Because I didn't even like the Slim Shady LP all that much. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a little too weird.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. So like, it was. I mean, it got him on, true enough. But like we know how that was. But we ain't gonna get to that topic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the Marshall Mathers LP was truly dope. I dug that. You know what I'm saying? I listened to that whole LP. You know what I'm saying? So like, Curtain Call, I bounced around it. Some songs I don't even know on fucking Curtain Call, to be perfectly honest with you. I know the real Slim Shady, his Mariah Carey diss, and why you dissing Mariah Carey? You know what I mean?
He's just like the bully. That's why like he's trying to bully on Nick Cannon, right?
Right, yeah.
No, you gonna bully him? Go on ahead and say something to them other boys that done jumped in.
Say something to Charlie Clips. Right.
Holla at Hitman, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, oh,
See
man.
how good conceited really is.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Try your luck, man.
Bro,
That's my only thing. Like, you talking about a real arena, you going after someone like Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know Nick Cannon is not that dude, bro.
Nah. No, Nick Cannon rap for fun. That's why his career was mainly based in movies.
Exactly. And hosting TV shows. That's where he done got his money from. TV shows and movies.
Yeah.
Leave it be.
He had a couple of hits that was, for the 13-year-olds and shit like that, but that's
He
about
had one hit.
it.
Gigolo.
Gigolo. Oh, wait, did he have another one?
He had another one, but it ain't do shit.
Right.
Dad don't like me.
Oh, yeah, that shit.
It was trash. Oh, that was trash.
Oh, man.
You know, shout out to the kid, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll let Eminem punk you, man. Fuck you,
Oh, man. So, but yeah, okay. I'm with that. Okay, so I'm with that. Marshall Mathers LP. Okay, yeah. I take that. So, all right, now, so for me, I'm gonna bring it back down south real quick, and I think for who they are and what they did in their time, I think that they deserve it. I'm gonna go with Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music,
Okay.
Outkast, as a classic. And my reason for putting them here, like I said, it's not in any particular order. My reason for putting them here is that the South was unheard before Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. The South was like, as a matter of fact, a lot of people didn't even really know they was from the South until they started talking about Atlanta, Georgia in the music. You know what I'm saying? So, the South was unheard of, unless you're talking about like UGK, 8 Ball, NJG. You know what I'm saying? Like, 3-6 Mafia, them folks like that. But see, even then, they didn't want to really look at them as Southern because it was Tennessee. You know what I mean? So, Tennessee got that weird divide. It could be Midwest or Southern, depending on how you look at it, right? Because a lot of people like to say anything above Virginia or anything below Virginia, right?
Yeah.
But, so, the only thing, but with UGK though, them being out west and in the South, in Texas, that was pretty much all we had. Then, boom, here come Outkast with Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. Yeah, that I feel like that definitely got to be in there.
Yeah, I can roll with it.
Yeah.
I can roll with it. Outkast was definitely an influential step for the history and evolution of hip hop.
I mean, because from Outkast we had Goody Mob came from there. Goddamn, Goody Mob. Then your boy Drama and all that or whatnot.
You had Sleepy Brown.
Sleepy Brown and Sleepy Brown was a little bit
Killer
later.
Mike was attached to him.
But that was a little bit further down the line.
Yeah.
But a little bit closer to them, you had like Drama and shit like that who came up from Atlanta. But along with them was Master P and them too. But that was still southern West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we still talking like around UGK, and in that
See,
area.
that's why people is probably going not like we got what 3 apiece left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, nah. What number we on?
Yeah, we on 7. That was my 7th. Well, that was my 7th one right there. This your 7th one.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a little monkey wrench in the game, just cause like I said, it's all about a vibe, man. You vibing with something, you vibing with something. So, shit. I'm gonna go back to a time I remember, me first getting into my feeling of hip hop music, and one of my favorite albums, one of my favorite CDs was Masterpiece Ghetto Dope.
Oh, okay.
Like for a southern, and let's be honest, if you really want to talk about who started that crunk shit, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, really.
You could talk about No Limit and 3-6, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they was really on that turned up shit at that time.
We just didn't call it crunk back then.
Yeah. So, that Ghetto Dope, it had plenty of, bangers, and it's like, it's just real nigga talk, it's not so much as you looking at skill, but you just looking at music that's relatable and, gives you the comfort of, familiarity.
Yeah. But you picking that for your classic from him?
Hmm?
You picking that for your classic from him?
Yeah, that's a classic album.
I guess. I mean, me personally, I would probably say Ice Cream Man. But I mean,
Ice Cream Man didn't just have as much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but also Ghetto Dope was also a double disc. Ghetto Dope had 22 tracks on it. Ghetto Dope?
Last Dawn was the dope.
The Last Dawn, that's right. Damn,
Yeah, so.
I got it mixed up. Okay, so Ghetto. Okay, wait. So I got the whole thing mixed up. Hold on.
Make them say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Ghetto Dope. Right. Okay, so I'm thinking about the Last Dawn. Yeah. Okay. I had the whole damn thing mixed up. Cadillac. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can see that.
That shit was hard, boy.
I can see that. Me personally, I still think. Well, I think because Ice Cream Man really put him on the map, I guess is what I'm looking at. But I mean, but Ghetto Dope did have a lot of bangers on it.
Like I mean, it was slap most of the way through.
Yeah.
So I just feel like that. So that's why I put it up there, because I want to also represent all elements of hip hop in this list.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like just for that southern real nigga rap,
Yeah.
I believe it's a good classical album, because
Yeah, so I think that's I can fucks with that. I can fucks with Ghetto Dope. Ghetto Dope I can fuck with. All right, so my 8th. So for my 8th, for my 8th, I'm gonna go another way with it. All right. I'm gonna take it back to something that got re-released and did better than it did at its original release, and I'm gonna go with Adrenaline Rush. Yeah.
that's a unique one.
Right. I think I think that for him, and we just talking about him because it's not a lot of, when we talk about that category of fast rapping, and all that stuff, it's not a lot of people in that category, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you had Bone, which and I'm from Cleveland, y'all. So but I just don't know of any class. I mean, okay, East 1999 Eternal will be a classic Bone track, but it would just be a classic Bone album. But it's just that, a classic Bone album. It's not a classic album in all. You understand what I'm saying? For cats from Cleveland, if you're from Cleveland, yeah, that's in your list. You know what I'm saying? East 1999 Eternal, especially if you're from around St. Clair area, that's in your list. You know what I mean? But we talking about worldwide amongst everybody, I don't think that fits for that genre of, for that subgenre of music. I don't think that anybody else outside of Cleveland would actually put East 1999 Eternal on their list. Okay, so, but, I mean, unless you start talking about Eminem, but he only got a couple of songs like that. Twista rap this way every fucking time. And Adrenaline Rush was released. It went gold when it was released. Then it re-released and went double platinum. You know what I mean? So
bringing pain like 2 bad nurses.
Right.
The pain from these here mother.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that shit was hot.
Yeah, Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like I feel like for that subgenre right there, Adrenaline Rush is a classic. But it's not a big subgenre because not many people can keep up. You know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, Adrenaline Rush, made,
Chopper style music.
yeah,
Rock relevant.
right. I mean, you got Crucial Conflict up there. You got Do or Die, who could kind of rap on that level too. You know what I'm saying? And Crucial Conflict and them, but
And
they,
Bone, that whole little,
yeah,
it all circulated. Speeding out lobsters.
yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, but I mean, shit, but all of that came from, Twisted though. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, shit, Adrenaline Rush. I mean, you had Emotions on there. Shit, the first Let Me Get It Wet.
Oh,
You're right. You know what I mean? Yeah.
that was a monster.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
But see, I'm kind of tore from my 8.
mm,
So I think I'm just gonna go this way, and I'm going to say, I don't know how I want to say this. This is my 8. I want to make sure it's in cahoots with what I'm trying to say. Let's just go out west for a minute.
okay.
Of course, gonna bring up this Chronic album.
Oh man, what?
Everybody will probably have that in there.
That's it. Yeah, I was gonna say that's it. That's got to. I think everybody will have it in there, man.
Full of bangers.
I gotta agree with the Chronic, man. You got G Thang, you got Dre Day, you got fucking.
Keep that head ringing. Ooh, keep that head ringing.
Oh no, that wasn't the Chronic though.
Oh wait.
No, that was on the Friday album. So, shit. You had Dre Day on the Chronic, fucking G Thang, Nigga with a Gun, shit, bro.
Let Me Ride.
Let Me Ride. Shit, man, that album, yeah, man, for that, especially that album coined the West Coast sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, between, NWA was gangster rap, you know what I mean? But everybody was doing gangster rap, right? The LA sound, though, the West Coast LA sound was coined through the Chronic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had this conversation before. Like, Snoop was at Snoop's best whenever he was with Dre. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not now, not to say that Snoop hasn't put out hot tracks since then, but nothing, that synergy, that chemistry that he had with Dre has never again been formulated. That's why when Next Episode came out, Snoop was right back on fucking top, boy. When Dre finally dropped Next Episode and Snoop came out there on Next Episode, yeah, the Chronic 2001, when Next Episode popped off, and it was like, people was like, oh fuck, Snoop, we forgot Snoop was dope. Yeah, but he that's like fucking goddamn the chick group, Salt and Pepper without Spinderella. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, back in the day, Salt and Pepper without Spinderella, it wasn't going, it just didn't go. You know what I mean? So, like, they needed her sound. You know what I'm saying? So, yep. So, like, it's just like, Snoop had that perfect flow for that West Coast sound. You know what I'm saying? And Dre created that West Coast. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can say that. Oh no, well, Corrupt in them, and they all got. I don't care. I don't want to hear all that. Dre created that West Coast sound because when Corrupt started doing Corrupt's thing, Dre was already doing the NWA thing. He already had NWA on the map. You know what I'm saying? He already started working on that sound.
Yeah.
So.
That's my reason for having that Chronic up, though.
Yeah. So
I believe it's definitely in the conversation.
Yeah. So yes, that's got to be in the conversation. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. damn, we're coming back down on some. We're coming back on some interesting things here, and what I want to put out next for my number 9, because like my list is dwindling down. There's a lot of things that I think should go, but you know, it's like, well, okay, well, where I go next for my top 10, right? So, because some of these are interchangeable, you know, a lot of these are interchangeable in all honesty.
Yeah.
But I gotta put Life After Death up there. I gotta put it in there. See, because I could put Notorious in there, but Life After Death just... I think Life After Death had a lot more relatability to other people. Notorious was for the street. Life After Death spoke to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it anyway. I feel like Life After Death, you know, it was party music, period. You know, it had lyrical content and the whole nine, but it was also party music. You could party that music and feel like you could relate to what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? In that music, you know, sky's the limit. Come on, you know what I mean? What's the shit?
Sky's the limit, definitely.
Yeah, Sky's the Limit was a banger. Hypnotize was, you know, that was party music. One More Chance, you know what I mean? So, you know, what was the joint with Lil Kim? Another Bitch or something. I think it was called Another Bitch or something like that. You know, what would you do if your bitch was untrue? Would you cut that hooker off or find someone new? I need another bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, everybody can relate to these types of things. You know what I mean? It was more than just, you know, the street. You know what I mean? But like, you know, but I mean, you know, Notorious could also be in that list though, because you know that shit was nuts. But you know, but Life After Death for right now, just for its relatability and its content. So.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get back on some more proper shit because I definitely believe this album deserves to be in the top 10 albums of all time for hip hop. Get Rich or Die Trying.
Fuck yes. Yeah. Yeah. I can't argue with you at all. Fucking 50. Man. Hey, yeah, I'm going to say this. Ja Rule has to be the most pissed off motherfucker on the planet because his career would have took off, skyrocketed. He would have been just fine if 50 Cent never dropped Get Rich or Die Trying. Bro, he would have been okay if 50 never dropped Get Rich or Die Trying. I promise. Dude. He had the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
That whole album was a masterpiece.
Bro,
like,
what?
From the intro, the song you had Patiently Waiting with Eminem.
Oh, the patiently waiting for a trap to explode on. Man, what? Oh, man.
Many men. There.
Wish death upon me. Man,
that
what?
whole project was just
Blood
crazy.
in my eyes, dog, and I can't see. Oh, man. Like, oh, man.
Blood, what up, cuz?
What up, gangsta?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 50, that Get Rich or Die Trying was definitely a banger. It was slapped the whole way through. And it kind of gave gangsta rapper, you know, new push.
Yeah, it came back. It gave new life to it. You know what I'm saying? And like
when 50 first outed Giant Wangster, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah. But I mean, but the crazy thing is that's what made the album so anticipated too, was because Wangster started the whole shit. As I said, if 50 would have never dropped, hey, man, look, I'm sorry it happened to you, bro. Like, you know,
you gotta think about
you
it.
would have been okay if 50 just didn't want to do music. Like,
all it took was for 50 to say, "Go, shawty,
it's your birthday. We go
white
party."
people, black people, Spanish, it don't matter who it is. They hear that, they know what song it is, and they was about to turn up.
They was gonna turn up.
That's how
they was going to the bar to get another drink.
That's how well that song did. Everybody felt like it was their birthday just because he said it.
You're right. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So right, yeah. Shit.
So you know that's
top pick birthday song for like 5 years running straight,
Yeah.
dog. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you go
Yeah.
to any club, like, what's the most played song on birthdays in your club? Oh, it'd be 50 Cent. Like, you know. Shit,
Well, you
man.
know, 2 Chainz made a dope one too. But, you know.
Yeah. Shit.
But yeah, that's one of them ones of mine that's, you know, still
Yeah.
I see it just being in the top 10 period.
Definitely. So my number 10 spot. Shit. Last one. See, shit get hard right here. Because it's like I said before, so many things you go thinking about, so many different albums.
I think I know which one I'm gonna run with.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about which one I'm going with.
I still got 2, but
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I got a couple of them in my, floating around up there.
I got
Just
2 right now. I'm trying to decide which one I'm gonna go with. Think I know what I'm gonna go with though, cause I know I won't get no argument. No, I'm gonna take the controversial way out.
I'm gonna go with something that's a little bit newer and something that has proven that it's gonna be classic, and it is classic thus far. Okay, I'm gonna say Scorpion, and the reason I say that is because it's already legendary as it stands.
Biggest
This the most streams in history. In a week. In history. In a single week. The whole album. And we're not talking about just, we talking about each song had 1 billion plus streams. Not the whole album as a whole. No. Each individual song had 1 billion plus streams on the Scorpion. And it was some dope shit on the Scorpion.
Ain't nobody seeing that boy Drake in no verses.
Right, boy. Yeah. Hey, that's true. Like, it ain't been no versus Drake yet, and I don't think it's gonna be for quite a while. You know what I mean?
They're gonna have to come as a whole label.
Bro, listen, like it's gonna be like Bad Boy Entertainment versus Drake. Drake, let's just put on my last album. Right?
Got 112 out there dancing the Peaches and Cream. Got G Herbert, G Dub, Harlem Shaking, Black Rob, Whoa. Every Mace coming out there. Bring Biggie back, all kind of stuff. Even look at Drake.
Man,
that heat
bro,
for days.
Bro, man, Drake got so many. Like Drake is that guy. Drake is is the new Hove. Okay, because you get a Drake slide, you get a Drake feature, you go to the top. You go to the top of the charts. That's it. End of the story. You know what I mean? It don't matter whether you, me, or you don't like the song. You get Drake on your track, you go on to the top of the charts. That's all it is to it. And that album right there is proving that it's gonna be classic. For if nothing else, it has made history.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It made history. It has not been another album since then that's done that. No, I know it ain't been that long ago, but I'm sure it's gonna be quite a few decades, maybe. You know what I mean? Before we see that again. You know what I mean? That's the equivalent of Hove selling out Madison Square Garden. Did he do that too?
Hove did that.
I know Hove did that, but did Drake do that yet?
I don't know if Drake did. I know. I mean, Logic did that.
Well, Logic did it too, yeah. So Logic is the only other person so far.
I think it's a couple of rappers that did it.
But Hove did it in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's we talking about that's a
when it was
different era.
still the grind.
Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the Hove did it in the '90s. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's easy to do now, but I mean, it's a lot easier now that he has done it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that ain't the same with the Scorpion track though. Each song got 1 billion plus plays in the first week, and I think he was over. I think he had with, what was it, triple platinum the first day? The first day he was already triple platinum. Day 1 of release. The boy is in his bag. we gonna say that too. The boy is in his bag.
Definitely.
Nuts.
Let's see. For my number 1, like I said, I'm gonna kind of go against the grain, I guess. go with one of my favorite people,
Alright.
Sir Luda.
Oh yeah.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. Yeah. Ooh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Word
was,
of mouth. I make niggas eat dirt and fart dust. You know, gift certificate, the pussies are us. I eat the whole pie and leave nothing but the crust. So
Yeah,
you
that
can
boy
feel what
Luda.
it's like with a stink and no guts or a sack with no nuts. Oh boy.
Like, you got to understand, like, during this era, you know, and shout out to another honorable mention, Kanye. But, you know, you had dudes that was making it popular not to be no super hardcore thug and still getting off on
Yeah.
it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had to be a gangster and this, that, and the third, you know. People like Kanye, Luda, you know what I'm saying? They was just giving it to you, you know what I'm saying? So, that's one of those, you know, iconic, you know, rollouts. You know what I'm saying?
Roll out, yeah.
You can say
But you know,
for an artist of that caliber, it's, you know, he's not super street. You know what I'm saying? But he's not super square. But you know,
but we gotta say too that, you know, Word of Mouth was a diamond album too. So
you know, worldwide. You know, but I mean,
was it not worldwide diamond?
I believe so. They don't speak
Yeah.
on it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, I know in the United States it was only double platinum.
Yeah, but I thought it was worldwide diamond though.
I don't know. I can't find the numbers on it myself.
Okay. I mean, it's a dope album. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's a dope album.
Word of mouth.
So,
I mean, you know, I can't knock that. Word of mouth. I mean, I don't know not one person that don't know what the word of mouth. Let me see. Make sure I got the right album here. I don't know one person that don't fucking know Southern Hospitality. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, nigga, I don't know one person that don't know Move Bitch.
Move. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that one right there was such a popular song. I mean,
Then his collab with Lil Jon, East Side Boys. What was that joint?
B.I.B.I.
B.I.B.I. Yeah. Because that was on both albums.
Well, it wasn't on his.
I thought it was. Was that Kings of Crump? Or was that the that was
Kings of Crump.
yeah. Okay, I don't know. I thought they had a song together on his album. I'm maybe mistaken. But yeah.
I mean, then you even look at his features. Like, dude has some of the best features.
Right. Yeah.
I'm So Hood feature.
Mm-hmm.
The remix, you know, the Lovers and Friends.
Yeah.
You know, all kind of shit. That boy's features is
Nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
Guy is on fire.
Right.
So,
So
you know.
yeah, I don't knock that. And then for honorable mentions, I think you said Kanye. Well, I'm thinking College Dropout, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you know, and if his first couple are
College
solid
Late Registration was
songs,
dope too, though.
That's what I was about to say. Late Registration was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah. So also let's see. Honorable mentions. We'd go back to Hove. I'm thinking the Gift and the Curse.
I was gonna say the Blueprint.
Yeah. Or the Blueprint. Yeah. Actually, that's probably better even than the Gift and the Curse. If I'm being honest.
Hell yeah, that's better than the
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If I'm being honest, that was better than the Gift and the Curse.
Blueprint might arguably be his best album.
It could be, yeah. Yeah. It probably is his best work. Because he was at the pinnacle of his career at the time. He was in the beef. So that got all the attention in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, Blueprint was probably the best album from, you know, in Ho's discography, you know, with all the controversy around all of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so like, you know, which, you know, in that
You gotta
particular
think that was the height of his career, was from that Blueprint to Black Album time.
Yeah.
That was the height of his career. So, you know, but
Black
I
Album
mean,
was dope too, though. Shit,
yeah,
the Black Album was dope.
dope.
Right.
You know, like I said, it's a whole bunch of like Water for Chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
Water for Chocolate,
Common
yeah,
Sense.
Common Sense, yeah. Oof, whoa, boy, you talking about some knowledge being dropped. Let's see, shit.
That shit was crazy. You know, it's just all kind of shit. You can literally go through. You know, you can go back to the pioneers and you talk about Eric B. and Rakim paid in full. You know,
They Lost Soul back in the day.
They Lost Soul, Tribe Called Quest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much, and like I said, it really just depends on where you at in your journey with the music, because it's different eras. You know.
Right.
You might have been one of them ones in the eras when, you know, LL Cool J was rocking the bells. You You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't no telling. You know, I was just listening to some old music that was, you know, out when I was too young to even remember. You know, I was listening to Queen Latifah's, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the, you know, BDP and shit like that. And it's like, phew. So, I mean, you know, it's like we said, it's all subjective, you know, so we just trying to, you know, let's bring up these, let's have these conversations, man.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
talk about it, because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
Y'all
shit.
throw out that feedback, you know. Like I said, this will be going up on YouTube. Some clips from it will be going up on Facebook, so you know, y'all can go ahead and check it out. If you got the Facebook page or pages or whatnot, you can look for it on Facebook. Of course, it's the Collective Culture, spelled correctly. You know,
Proper English.
right. So you know you can
Educated.
check it out. But every week we'll have a show right here on Twitch. So
Right here.
y'all come check it out.
Back.
We will be back.
We will be right.
Be back next week with
You know what I'm saying?
a whole new breakdown of shit to talk about. We gonna see what Ye's campaign trail look like apparently.
instead of MAGA, it'll be NAGA.
Naggle.
Naggle.
Bro.
Naggle.
Right.
Boy, stop playing.
Oh man, bro.
But anyways,
But don't y'all forget either that well, let's let y'all know again because the original audio probably ain't up yet. But to let y'all know that we got the BLM freestyle challenge that we putting out, and the intro music that you are hearing, and we're gonna put it up again so y'all can hear it again. But the intro music you've been hearing, the first song that you're hearing right here. Hold on, pull it up a little bit for y'all. So this track right here, this is going to be the track that we are going to lease out for commercial use. It's not going to cost you, but we're leasing it out for commercial use. So, you know, all the particulars and everything will be out with it. But all you got to do is either DM us or DM Spoken on his social media right here from Twitch. You can, you know, pop in the chat on our next show, or if you want to follow him on Twitch and whisper him and let him know, hey, look, I'm interested in the track and I want to do a song to it, and that's cool. Once again, it'll be up on. This is going to be on YouTube, so on YouTube in the description, it'll tell you how to get in touch. All the same. And also the clips on Facebook and whatnot. This is already out on Instagram. We got this information out there that we're doing this, but you'll see it again. So just follow the Instagram, follow the Twitter, follow the Facebook, and then, you know, go to the YouTube or whatever. It's going to be the Collective Culture on your YouTube channel as well. So it'll be, give it a couple days, give or take, for some editing, and then it should be up there. So that's something that we're doing. Like I said, the production is all by Spoken. So, you know.
Let's just remember with this, you know, we're asking, you know, all artists, you know, if you feel like, you know, you have a message that you want to get across about, you know, this whole Black Lives Matter movement going on right now, you know, we need a soundtrack for this movement, you know. That's what the purpose of this song is. And, you know, to throw on top of that, I mean, you know, even if you want to, you know, be part of, you know, the podcast, you know, and help us find an intro song, you know. We're going to take, you know, this is one of the neat things about this Black Lives Matter challenge, is that we're going to sit down with our panel and we're going to pick approximately, you know, 6 to 8 different versions and use it as the intro for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to see what everybody got, and, you know, it's a chance to get some extra promotion, publicity, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and it's a chance to, you know, help, you know, make a soundtrack for this whole situation that us as people of color are going through right now, you know. Let's let our voice be heard, you know, in every arena, you know. And so when you do it, you know, go on ahead, record it, whatever, take a video of you doing it, and put it out, and, you know, show people, share it, tag, you know, Collective Culture, you know, Spoken, or myself, Spoken, or Adversary, Catch us on Facebook, of course, for Instagram and Facebook, mine is spoken _RRN_ENT. The real spoken at gmail.com. Shoot me a message or whatever, like I said, you can reach me that way. I'm open, talk with me. We about working. We have other services. If you're ever interested in any of those things, we try and do it all. And if we don't know how to do, we try and figure it out.
Yeah.
We just trying to take y'all on this trip with us. So we also do want to shout out the whole squad. You know what I'm saying? Because
shout out.
They give us the support to go on ahead and get this going. You know what I'm saying? So we want to definitely shout out to our partner out there, Danny Smith, the real MDC Media.
What's going on, Danny?
That's the guy right there. That's the homie.
Yeah.
He's definitely got that sound for you.
All the way out in Kentucky, doing the thing.
Yeah. Shout out to our other two hosts that'll be popping in on different episodes. Axiom, Truth Be Told, Mark Thomas.
Also, you check out song Axiom right now
and Mary
on Spotify
Jane.
and Mary Jane, both on Spotify. You just type it in and look for Axiom Truth Be Told as the artist.
Axiom Truth Be Told, dope. And also Poet Pariah the Poet.
Yeah, Poet Pariah.
That's the homie. He'll be in on these conversations with us as well. So it's a nice little team lineup right there. The other artists on the team: HK, Bonjeet Skull, JG, K Shady.
What's going on,
LA
y'all?
Dice, all of y'all. You know what's going on, man. Eric Ness, Magadino. Shout out to you.
Magadino the chemist. Boy, everybody.
Definitely want to shout out everybody on that side. We are gonna continue to come back and give you all more. You know what I'm saying? We feel like this is good conversation for us because it's about our culture. So we are definitely gonna be coming back and giving you all more. Like we said, drop some comments. In the comment section, let us know some things y'all might want us to talk about.
Definitely.
Put us on some game because we here to talk. We here to chop it up. We here to this the people's conversation. And we'll figure out how to go from there. So I'm just being for real. I really enjoy it. I hope everybody is okay out there. I hope everybody remembers to say the man's name, George Floyd. Rest in peace. Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor's name.
All of these people we have not forgotten. Not forgotten.
Yep. But with that, y'all, we're going to call it, like we said, don't forget, don't be afraid to come, chop it up. I mean, especially if you like to debate, great. We love debating,
Yeah.
Assholes by nature, so it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we don't mind debating.
No
it's all
worries
good.
about expressing ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we enjoy that kind of expression.
Yeah, so I mean, so come through with it, tell us how you feel, you know what I mean? It don't matter on whatever subject. We break down some of the, news that's going on within our culture too. And if you got something to speak out on that about, then, go ahead and do it. I mean, we here, so, But anyway.
Slick Slight plug too, go check me out on Spotify, your boy Spoken, SSPOKN. Music on Spotify right now, any of these streaming sites, come check me out,
That's
I got
right.
some stuff out now,
That's
but
right.
we didn't actually elevate it a little bit more, so, got some new stuff coming real soon.
Right.
Just wanted to holler at you real quick.
Right, because you can check out that Stoner Life remix right now that's out there. You know what I mean?
Check out that Die With Me.
And that Die With Me right now, that's perfect for this time right now, to be perfectly honest with you. Die With Me is a dope single that's out there right now. Also, y'all, we got Stoner Life apparel coming, but we'll keep y'all posted on that because we got it coming real soon.
We got it coming real soon. Stoner Life apparel.
Stoner Life
got
apparel.
Got something for the ladies. Y'all gonna really like it.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. But with that, y'all, we gonna call it. We out. Peace and love.
Squad out.
And
Double
squad
R.
out.
Resurrection. Spoken.
Call Call me spoken, you can keep the E.